It's gorgeous out here. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome to this Stanchies pregame video for the Canucks and the Buffalo Sabres. My name is Lachlan. I am writing the Stanchies today on CanucksArmy.com. And welcome to the Agrodome for this Stanchies pregame video. We're doing a little bit of a different pregame because we were here for Golden Eyes practice, myself, and from the hockey news, Izzy Cheung is here. First ever, you're the first ever guest, on a Stanchies pregame video. Not even Wyatt will do them because Wyatt is a diva and he demands a retainer up front for any appearances. The reason he's
I'm not getting paid for this?
Anyways, it is also Wyatt's birthday. That is why he is not here. One thing to know about Wyatt is he always misses the Sabres game. That is the big one for him. Same for me with the Panthers. Do you have a second team?
My second team would have to be the Colorado Avalanche.
And that is all the time we have for you.
I'm not getting paid.
You're not getting paid. Dissed. No, you're getting paid. You're getting dissed. That's the Stanchies way. Now, we're talking about two teams that are in the bottom of the standings. The Sabres are actually doing better than the Vancouver Canucks.
Isn't everyone?
Isn't everyone. That is true. But of particular importance, the Sabres, because they're a team that has very famously missed the playoffs every year since 2011. So the fact that they are ahead of the Canucks right now tells you not just how badly things are going in Vancouver, but the fact is that Buffalo may be doing a touch better than they were expected. What do you think we're going to see in this game?
I think we're going to see Buffalo win. I don't know why. Like, I get the vibe. I get a 5-2 Sabres win vibe.
You're predicting the score right out of the gate here.
I don't know.
My God.
Like, I just get the vibe. Like, it's 5-2. So some sort of, like, 5 goals for the Sabres. I don't know why, but mind you, Thatcher Demko is starting tonight, so I don't want to put that negative juju out on him.
I was gonna say you're coming in very negative here, which you know is fair. It's totally fair.
But it's
with
not
this
my
team.
brand. I like being positive.
You like being positive. I'm gonna take the positive route here and say that I think the Canucks are actually gonna win today, and the big reason for that is that the Sabres are coming off that big win against Edmonton a few days ago. They did blow a 3-0 lead in the process, but they did end up winning in overtime. And I think the fact is now, the fact that they've already beaten Edmonton, they can already kind of call this road trip a success. So they're not coming in nearly as hungry as if they were 0-2 on the road trip already. So I think the Canucks will be able to catch them maybe not as raring to go as they might have been if they were coming in right off a loss, especially if they had blown that game and lost. They would be coming in, I think, with a lot more passion and firepower.
That is a good point. Very good point.
Thank you. I was due to make a good point at some point in my life.
At some point in your life. Career. Your first ever good point.
This was my first ever good point. Mark it down, guys.
December 11th, 2025. First ever good point.
I'm going to get him the puck. In terms of players to watch tonight, who are you looking forward to seeing?
Of course, Demko is going to be someone to watch, but I think one player that you should watch who may or may not be in the lineup is Brock Boeser. Just from the fact that, of course, he left practice early today, if not, didn't even skate at all. The thoughts are it may have to do with the appendix, I think is what Foote said during practice, but he is a game-time decision, so I think if anything, that is your person to look out for before. During the game itself, all eyes, I think, will be on Demko.
Absolutely. Demko, and thank you for segueing into goalie talk for me. Demko
here we go.
is going to be, here we go, Lachlan's
That's
rant
enough
time.
for me.
You're gone. With Demko, the big thing for him is obviously he's coming off of this injury that they said wasn't an injury when he started, but very clearly was.
Maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance. I'm sorry. It was maintenance for whatever reason. The thing for him is, of course, when you get injured as a goaltender, your biggest concern is not getting injured again, and it really takes a the best mentality possible to not think about that. Because if you start thinking about being injured, if you start thinking about, oh, if I move in this certain way, I might tweak something, you are already dead to rights. You have to be able to put that at the back of your mind. And for a goalie like Demko, who has such a long injury history, that makes it even harder. But I think that Demko is obviously a professional and he knows how to do that, and he's always willing to go that distance that maybe his body just can't get to. But for him today, the name of the game is just going to be focusing on making the smart saves, being in the right position, making sure that you are not focusing too much on trying to be everything all at once to a team on your first time out. You want to make sure that you are focusing on you and what you can control in a game first and foremost. As far as Buffalo is concerned, I I'm excited to see Zach Benson, especially as a player who has had a bit of a struggle to start this season. I believe he doesn't have a goal yet, or at the very least, he has very few goals.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's had it's been a sophomore slump for him for sure, and it's going to be a matchup between him and Tom Wielander, who the Canucks could have drafted Benson instead of Wielander. Right now, it's looking like Wielander's actually having a pretty good start to the season. He's been pretty good so far.
He's been great. I mean, especially when you consider the circumstances that resulted in him making his NHL debut probably a lot earlier than what the Canucks would have wanted. I mean, of course, made his debut against JT Miller and the New York Rangers. But from the first few games, of course, you have your perennial Calder Cups like Matthew Schaefer, all these guys who are more than likely going to take the votes for Calder. But I would say Wielander's had a pretty good start.
Absolutely. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say it's 4-2 Vancouver in regulation. I'm going to say they actually get a regulation win out of this game.
It would have to be in regulation for it to be 4-2.
Yes. That is correct.
Math.
Thank you for pointing that out
Math.
to me on my own show. You're supposed to just yes and me. That's how this works.
If I'm not getting paid and I'm being dissed,
you'll get paid. You'll get paid. Izzy, thank you so much for joining me for this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Where can the people find your work?
The people. Well, the people can find my work on thehockeynews.com. You can check the Canucks site, or I have stuff going on the women's site as well for the Golden Eyes, of course, in our lovely practice facility.
Yeah, look at that. A practice facility.
The house that Lachlan Irvin built.
That's right. This is famously my rink that I played at for many years. It's been talked about that, you know, this building really started with me, and my first game, history was made here. There's a plaque, I think, somewhere. I think
you see that?
I think the plaque.
You
I think
can't
it's.
see it.
Oh yeah, you know what? You conveniently you can't see
Yeah.
it. But trust me, it is over there. You just got to know where to look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to tune in on CanucksArmy.com tonight for the Stanchies after the Canucks and Sabres. We'll see you there. Bye.